It's the Opperman Report. Join digital forensic investigator and PI Ed Opperman for an in-depth discussion of conspiracy theories, strategy of New World Order resistance, high-profile court cases in the news, and interviews with expert guests and authors on these topics and more. It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Welcome to the Opperman Report. I am your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. This show is brought to you by Audible.com. You go to audibletrial.com/Opperman Report. You can sign up for free and get yourself a free audiobook. Today's the 4th of July, 2015. And what we're doing, this is one of our special broadcasts that we're pre-recording, and it will be first available in the members section on OppermanReport.com. And then it will go into rotation on all of our stations on Talk Superstation, Wolf Spirit Radio, PSN Radio, AwakeRadio.us, AwakeRadio.uk, Awake Radio Australia, Shizaz Radio, 1800, Scottish Sovereigns on the Land, and all the stations that play us live on Friday night. Then it'll go into rotation on Late Night in the Midlands on Tuesday, Para X Radio Saturday night, CBS Radio, Penny Entertainment on Blog Talk Radio on Sunday mornings, and every day, Monday through Friday, on FPRNradio.com. Today, we have a special guest. I know very little bit about our guest. Her name is Caroline Robinson, and I came into contact with her husband on Facebook when he was describing some accusations, and I think even litigation, against the estate of Jimmy Saville. Everyone knows we did a previous shows about Jimmy Saville and the scandalous activity with this guy. So I was very interested to hear the story of Caroline Robinson. Caroline, are you there?
Hello, I am. Yes, hi.
Hi, how are you? Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Can you tell us first a little bit about yourself? Who is Caroline Robinson? What do you do? Where do you live? What's your story?
My name is Caroline Robinson. I am a mother of 4. I'm married to a wonderful, wonderful man called David Robinson. I'm a grandma of 1. And I'm 51 years of age. I am retired. I'd say a housewife. I enjoy playing golf. I love the horse racing. I've been involved in mucking out the horses and watching them ride out on the Midland Moors. And that's basically my life. I get up in the morning and think, I'll play golf.
Oh, my God. I'm 53. I'm not seeing any retirement in my future for another 10, 15 years.
A lady of leisure.
Oh, God bless you, my friend. Oh, God. So now, what is your connection to Jimmy Saville?
Jimmy Saville is my great uncle. Is my mother's uncle and my grandmama's brother.
Okay, so then, what was your relationship with him growing up?
It came to my mother's home, or my home, my mum and dad's, when I was a little girl, and I enjoyed his stories and all the celebrities he had met. And one day he come over for what they class as a special visit, and I was dressed up in my new dress and had all my hair done, and you stand there really excited waiting for the Rolls Royce to pull up outside the house. And that was my really first time that I'd actually met him and was in awe.
I can imagine, because he's a very charismatic character.
Oh, yes.
So now, how old were you when you first met him?
I was 12 when I first met him.
Okay. And he was already doing Jimmy'll Fix It, or was it just the Top of the Pops? What stage of his career?
It was Jimmy'll Fix It, as well as Top of the Pops.
Yeah, so that by that time he was huge. He was just huge.
Oh, yeah, it was a megastar. It was, if you class him as in today, you class him as the Simon Cowell of today.
Right.
The piano knows everything about music.
Yeah, and you're 12 years old, and here's a guy who had met the Beatles and he was hanging out with the Royals and Buckingham Palace and all this kind of stuff. That must have been extremely impressive.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's just these stories that he used to tell of the celebrities he had met, Elvis Presley, and it was just, wow.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And he's my great uncle, yes, Now, it's amazing.
Now, what about your mother and your aunts and stuff? They were all extremely impressed with him as well?
My mum, my mother was, yes. Everybody was obviously in awe. But the family had rules laid down that you could not have photographs taken with Jimmy Saville. You were not allowed to ask him for any money. You weren't allowed to, be there present when there's other fans who wanted attention. Gotcha. The family was put into the background.
Wait, who made those rules?
Grandmama, which is the Duchess, Jimmy Saville's mother.
Okay.
And it was passed on.
Now, what about, even at that time, though, there were these rumors and allegations in the background about Jimmy Saville having a bad reputation as far as it comes to underage victims.
It was kept secret.
So you weren't aware of even the allegations at the time?
The family weren't. The only person that I would say would have been aware would have been his mother, the Duchess.
Gotcha. Okay, but
yeah,
that's right. And he had a real fascination with his mother, the Duchess, didn't he?
He adored his mother. I think his fascination for her and his respect for her and his honour to be her son, and it was just, I must do what the mother says. And the Duchess used to listen to who we'd met on a monthly get together, who we'd met, who we'd seen, what he had done, and Jimmy Saville would tell her everything. And the one thing she always used to say was, "Don't get caught."
Oh, really?
Really.
Don't get caught.
Get caught.
Don't get caught doing what?
Whatever he was doing.
Because he also owned a nightclub, didn't he?
Yes, I think it was called the Mecca. I've forgotten what it was called. Majestic.
Right, and also too, I saw a recent documentary where they visited him at his home for like a week, and he was showing off his mother's bedroom and his mother's clothing. Now, and there's some speculation too that he might have been wearing his mother's frocks and clothing and stuff.
I don't think he would have done. No, I think it was just to have a presence there.
Gotcha. Okay. So that was like the first time you met him. Then how did the relationship continue?
The first time I met him also was the first time he abused me.
Really?
Yes, in front of the family.
In front of the family?
Yes. If you can imagine a get-together with Jimmy Saville as the main person.
Right.
Sorry, Ed, sorry.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so you said if I could imagine a get-together with Jimmy Saville as the main person.
Yeah, and there's family there, there's aunties and uncles and your parents, your brothers and neighbours all talking about, and I sat on Jimmy Saville's knee.
At 12 years old?
Because at 12 years old, I was sat on his knee and I wanted to listen to what he had said. And it were, I knew we had met, and I sat on his knee and he was stroking my back.
Well,
right, gentle.
Even back in those days, though, because you and me are about the same age, and I can think back to when I was 12 years old, and my sister, she was 12 years old around that time, and it was a man in the home. To sit on a man's knee at 12 years old wasn't that creepy or unusual as it is considered today. Today would be just considered.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I think the old traditions of families getting together and children running around with nothing on but a pair of knickers or just a vest.
Right, like today, my daughter's 14 years old, so if she were to go sit on some grown man's knee, I would say, whoa, what's going on here? But back
of course you do.
Right, back at that time, it wasn't people, I guess, weren't as suspicious, maybe as we should have been.
Well, no, because he was a family member. So family members, you don't expect them to do what Jimmy Savile did.
So, okay, so give us an idea what happened. You're sitting on his knee, and he's being very attentive.
Yes, I'm sat on his knee, and he's telling me about the celebrities he'd met and the Jim will Fix It program that he was about to do. And the more he talked, the quieter he got. So I had to lean into him to hear what he was saying. And as he stroked my back, he started to get underneath my skirt because I didn't want to spoil it. And his hand went into my knickers. And he started, and I thought, that's a bit funny, eh? And I sat on something hard. Now, I thought it was his car keys. And I'm thinking, this is uncomfortable, and the more I moved and juggled about, to get off this thing hard that I was sat on, in the end, I wet myself, or so I thought.
Right.
So I jumped off, getting really embarrassed because, the last thing I want to do is wee myself on Jimmy Savile's knee. Oh, God. And I ran upstairs, and I thought, well, I'm embarrassed, And my father come up after me, and he said to me, what's wrong? And I said, well, I've weed myself. And he went, oh, give over, don't be silly. And he said, well, what you crying for? I said, well, I wanted to go see the Bay City Rollers, but Jimmy Savile said no. And that's why I got upset.
So now, at this time, even though you were 13 years old, you were like completely innocent. You had no idea.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Right. Like you never had a boyfriend.
I knew about the birds and the bees, but you were like, yeah, right, okay. Whoa.
So you think that this the liquid on you wasn't you wetting yourself? It was actually his.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, but the whole family didn't notice this going on?
No, never even know, because they were too busy talking with one another.
Right.
That, you just don't expect it. And my grandmama got hold of me when I came back down, and she said, what's wrong? And I went, well, Jimmy Savile, he touched my bum.
Right.
And she went, oh, it's only Jimmy. Never mind, I'll sort it out. And she never did.
Okay, so then, how'd the rest of that day go?
Pardon?
How did the rest of that day go? Did he leave? Was there any other incident that day?
No, he just got up. He said, right, I've got to go. I've got the Jim will Fix It, or Top of the Pops, I think it was, to do. And up he got. He said bye-bye, and he went.
Did you ever meet him again after that?
I met him when I was 15 at my engagement party.
Because you were engaged to be married at 15?
Yeah, I'm afraid in that day and age, when the girls get to 15 and they get pregnant, and it's like, oh dear. So the only respectable thing to do was marry the person who got you pregnant.
Yeah, my mother was from Cuba, and she got married at 14 years old. And then she had my brother at 16 and had the second brother at 18. So I'm familiar with the women getting married at a very young age. So he got married at 15 there in England, and he came to your engagement party.
Yes, he did. He came to my engagement party, so I didn't want him there. I didn't want him. I was uncomfortable.
Now, why is that? Because now you had matured a little bit, and you figured, hey, I know what this guy did to me when I was sitting on his knee?
I think that is the trigger, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think there was something about him that I just didn't want him there.
Well, the guy was totally creepy, and even when you look at him now, you just wonder, how did he get away with this for so long? And I understand that he wore before he died. He would wear a ring on his finger that was a human eyeball.
No.
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 Really? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
no.
Okay. Because what was it? Didn't he have a ring that had an eye on it, though? No, an eyeball.
I don't think he did. No, I think the only thing that Jimmy Savile did that I know is 100% right is he never wore any underpants, and the reason was you never knew when the opportunity may arise.
Really? Okay, that's interesting. Okay. So now, okay, so you never saw the ring that I've heard so much about. Okay. Now, now you didn't want him coming to your engagement party. Couldn't you just say, "Hey, Jimmy, you're not welcome to come"?
No, it's because the family were there. Everybody in the family wanted Jimmy. And because the party was at the Mansion Hotel where Jimmy more or less lived, not far away, it was like walk across the park and he was there.
Gotcha. So then what happened that day? Was there another incident?
Yes, there was, and this time it was a bit more serious. He, at our time, say about 8 o'clock, all the lights came on in the room for everybody to eat the buffet. We cut the cake, have the buffet, and after about half an hour, Jimmy put some music on, and I'm thinking, Mum said, "Here's a plate of food, give it to Jimmy," and I went, No, I don't want to. I'm tired. Anyway, my mother insisted, and I went over to Jimmy to give him his food. But because I couldn't give it to him face to face, I had to go behind him. And because he had his his tape decks and record decks and everything else laid out, I had nowhere to put the food.
Okay.
So I'm stood there behind Jimmy Saville like an idiot. And he looked at me and he went, and he nodded for me to put the food down. So I did, and as I did that, his arm came across me and pushed me into like an alcove, a dark space,
right,
where he then proceeded to put my hand on his willy,
right,
if that's a nice word to say. And his breath was in my neck, and I had to play with him while his other hand was on my breast.
Now, no one saw this happening?
Nobody saw it because the music was so loud, the lights were on, and I was in an alcove which was dark. And the minute I finished playing with Jimmy Saville, once he'd come, more or less, he just walked round. And that was it.
Then he just kind of just left you there and
carried on doing what he was doing, yeah. And I'm thinking, I've got to get out of here. I feel sick. I can't believe what's happened. And I ran outside and threw up.
Right.
And everybody thought it's because she's pregnant.
Right.
And I didn't tell a soul. I kept a secret.
You wouldn't even tell your fiancé that you were going to marry?
No.
Okay.
It was a secret.
Again, yeah, that was a different time back in those days.
It was, yes.
Yeah, okay.
These secrets were always kept.
Yeah. So then what happened then? He just left that night. Did you ever see him again?
Yes, I saw him at his brother's funeral,
Okay.
Uncle Vincent's. I took my grandmama, and his brother had obviously passed away, and during the wake, he was sat again in a circle with all the family around, and everybody's there, and it was just talking about what they used to get up to as kids, and the old thing came up, you never wore underpants, and that's how it came.
Wait, I didn't follow you because of the accent. You're saying that you were at a funeral, you were all sitting around in a circle, and then what happened? Something about it, he wasn't wearing pants?
Yeah, the old tradition of, men talking and having fun.
Yeah.
His brother, one of his brothers said, you never wore underpants. He went, well, no, because you never know when the opportunity may arise.
Gotcha, okay.
The other thing was that his brother used to have a plaque across his entrance door as you walked in,
yeah.
And it said, all ye maidens, discard knickers on entry.
Oh, that's what his brother had on his door.
Yep.
Now, so do you think that this kind of sexual abuse and molesting people, it's like it ran in the family? Do you think the other members of the family were aware of this and doing it as well?
Yes, I think, I was abused by another uncle.
Ah. now, that other uncle, is he still alive or he's gone?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
So then, okay, now was there any other contact with Saville?
No, there wasn't. No. When he died and he had his funeral, I was in Gibraltar.
So you didn't even go to his funeral?
No, I didn't. No.
So now you're coming under attack for this now, for coming out with this story.
I am. The family have turned against me. They all said that I should have kept it within house and not told the press or anybody else.
Okay.
I've had abuse. I've been investigated for fraud. And the police have investigated me, and there's no case to answer.
Okay, so now, after his death, and all these stories have come out, and all kinds of investigations, we find out there's been police investigations, and all kinds of, forget it. But your family is still mad at you, this one person, this one victim, for saying, hey, you shouldn't be talking about it, even though the whole world's talking about it now.
Yeah, I should have not said anything at all.
Gotcha.
The family don't seem to understand that Jimmy Saville was a paedophile.
But everyone else in the world seems to understand by now that he's a paedophile.
Yes, that's correct, but the family have got blinkers on. They can't see it.
Now, in the family, are there any sisters or cousins or anything like that who are supporting your story and defending you?
Nope.
So the entire Jimmy Saville family is they've rounded up the wagons, you might say, and are all in support of Jimmy Saville's legacy, and they're trying to cover up.
That's correct, yes, and that includes my own mother.
Your mother? Oh, that's a shame. So you don't talk to your mom now?
I do talk to her, but it's a bit of hostility.
Hostility, gotcha.
Yeah, I should not have said anything.
Now you're saying that somehow a police investigation was launched against you?
Yep.
Okay, give us an idea what's going on with that.
The family had me investigated for fraud.
Okay.
The Operation U-Tree have investigated me, and there's no case to answer, and the family are absolutely livid.
Well, what kind of fraud are you being accused of?
Pardon?
What kind of fraud were you being accused of?
Fraud. That everything that I said was an untruth.
Okay, and in the UK, that's a crime that you can be investigated for for making an allegation against a dead person.
Yeah.
And
you can. If you have made a statement to the police and it's untrue,
okay,
you can end up in prison.
Gotcha. Okay, that's here too. Yeah, if you make a false statement to the police department, you can be prosecuted for that. So now you're saying
correct,
that somewhere along the line you've made a police report to the police.
Yes, I have. Yes.
When was this? After Saville died?
Just after Jimmy Saville died, when I first came out and told the whole world, which was the 17th of October, 2012.
Okay, so you went to the police, you made a police report. And
yes.
Now, and instead of supporting the victim, they've come after you and they charged you with filing a false police report.
That's correct.
Now, how did those charges come out? Obviously, you're free. You're not in jail. So you're talking to me on the phone. So, but how did that situation turn out?
It turned out that the first allegation of fraud was put in the paper.
Right.
So I just knew about it by reading the press. Oh wow, yeah. And then I got a telephone call asking me about Jimmy Saville, and I told him again what had happened, and that's it. In the end, there was no case to answer.
Okay, so all there was really was this whole fraud accusation was really just an article in the newspaper.
Yes.
And what do you think? Do you think it was your family who had the power to get that in the newspaper, or do you think it was Saville's power?
Yeah, that is correct, yes. It was the family that had done it. I've been told by Operation U-Tree, which are the ones that investigated Jimmy Saville in the UK,
right,
have told me that it's no case to answer.
Okay, now, is that the only harassment and attack that you've experienced?
No, I've been attacked by verbal abuse on the telephone. I've had emails of utter disgusting mail. It's honestly, it's appalling. The sort of words they come out with, it's like, wow.
Now, who do you think's behind all of that? Just Jimmy Savile fans, or?
No, my family, my cousins, my aunties, my uncles, even my own daughter.
Your doctor?
And my brothers.
Your doctor? Your daughter? Daughter, gotcha.
Yes.
Now, are these other family members that are siding with Saville, are they somehow getting money from the Saville estate, and maybe that's why they're doing this?
I think what it is, because Jimmy Saville's estate stands at about £4 million, I think they all get a part. I'm saying they all might get something, but I have been told that under no circumstances will I receive 1 penny of Jimmy Saville's money.
Gotcha. Now, do you think Jimmy Savile had a lot of powerful friends in Buckingham Palace with the royal family?
Yeah.
Have you experienced any kind of backlash from that, from official authorities, besides these little criminal charges they tried to press?
No, nothing. I've had a few of media journalists that have been a bit rude and aggressive. There's an internet link called Anna Raccoon, and she's put a blog in about me, and it's really, really bad.
Well, what are they saying? They're just saying that
physically that I'm a liar, I'm a bitch. I think if you can think of a few more bad words that you would say to a lady, then put all them in.
And what do you think
I'm a gold digger.
Right. And you think their motivation is to just intimidate you and silence you?
Yes, that is right, yes.
Well, then now how can people, when all of these allegations now are out about Saville, and some even, possibly the journalists that were investigating his organized pedophilia have been murdered and stuff like that, how can it be that everyone's focused targeting you, saying, well, if we could just silence Caroline Robinson, then all this is going to go away?
That is what they are hoping, yes.
Okay. Now, what is going on with the Saville case right now? Is it still in the press over there, or has it kind of died down?
It's died down. It's died down, yeah.
Are there any more official investigations into his stuff?
I think, as far as I can see, there's still more high-profiling men are being brought out who are paedophiles in a paedophile ring, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And I think since Jimmy Savile has come out, it's opened what we call a can of worms within high-ranking officials, MPs, people of court, judges and everything, even priests, vicars.
Right.
They're all a part of this paedophile ring, and it's like hell has broke loose.
So there are still reports coming out in the paper every day of new people involved in all this kind of activity. That's
correct, yeah. Apparently, I think there's one about our Prime Minister's aide. He's now part of the paedophile ring.
Yeah, I actually have a show coming up this Friday night, about Nicole Kidman's father being involved in a pedophile ring over there in England.
Yeah. Oh, bloody! I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's he killed himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it seems and a lot of crazy accusations around that. Now, are the people over there in the UK, are they rising up and saying, "Hey, this has to stop"? What's going on here? Or they're just kind of gossiping and?
There's a lot of talk, but there's no action.
Right.
If you understand what I mean, it's myself. There'll be thousands more victims, whether it's through Jimmy Savile or anybody else in the world. and the police and local authorities don't know how to handle it. You know, many years ago, we didn't even know what the word mean, let alone how to spell it.
Right.
And suddenly it's come out, and it's like, what do we do? How can we prove it? There's no evidence.
But there is evidence that Saville was allowed to have an office at this hospital, and had access to he had access to patients.
Yes.
Has anybody been arrested or charged or fired over that kind of stuff?
No, I think they're still keeping it quiet because there's doctors, surgeons, high-ranking officials again within the NHS who are part of it, or should I say, have turned a blind eye over the years, and it's them that don't want anything to happen. So we'll just keep it hush-hush and it'll die down.
So now here that you're just a regular person,
yeah,
and you're right at the center of all this, are you nervous?
No, I'm mad.
Right.
I'm angry.
Right.
I'm angry that my family have turned against me. When I wanted support, they've not been there. The only person who's helped me from taking a load more pills that I have tried to commit suicide has been my husband. If it wasn't for him, I would be dead now.
Well, I'm glad you're not. And it is very common for families in this type of situation to deny. They go into denial, and they just can't. They don't want to believe it, and they want to blame the victim. It happens all the time. It must be part of the syndrome of how.
It must be. Yes, it is. It's part of you can't see what's happening in front of your face, so you think, oh, it'll go away. Don't worry about it.
Right, it's all
so
part
it's
of the
denial.
All part of the sickness, and that allows these monsters to continue.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Say that again, Ed. Sorry.
I said it's part of the sickness that allows these monsters to continue. In that the family, they blame the victim and they don't support, and all this kind of stuff.
It's the victim because the paedophile or monster or anything you want to call the person. They make you feel special.
Right.
With Jimmy Saville, I felt special, and I sat on his knee, and I was the only one who was allowed to do it, and I felt special. I felt a special little girl because he gave me attention. So, hoping that I'll get that attention again, I kept the secret.
Right.
And that's what I think paedophiles are good at, talking.
And with this guy, this guy was a way larger than life personality.
Way huge, yes.
Well, now, is there anything else you want to share with us about this whole story and this situation you want people to know about?
Yes, there is another uncle who has abused me as well, and that is Adrian Marsden, which is Jimmy Saville's nephew, my uncle. And once this all comes out again, how are the family going to hide it?
Now, he's still alive.
He's still alive, yes. I'm waiting for an imminent arrest.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Now, so you've made a police complaint against him?
Yes, I have, yes.
How old is he?
How old is he? He'll be 60.
And
62, I'd say.
And how long ago did this attack happen?
When I was 8.
When you're 8 years old. And in the UK over there, they have laws that say that you can file charges that long after the crime happened?
There is, yes.
Okay, that's good.
It's called historic abuse.
Yeah, we have that here. They just changed that law here, too, that you can report a crime of child abuse when you're a child.
That's correct.
So now the police are actually actively investigating this?
Yes, they are, yes.
Okay. Now, do you think that how much contact did he have with Saville?
Just as much as me, I think, if not more. And he was a DJ as well.
Oh, really?
Yes. It runs in the family.
Yeah, right. Well, people showbiz families, yeah, they do tend to, all help each other out and have contacts and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else you need us to know about?
No, that's it, sweetheart. No, I'm just happy that I've been able to have a chat with you and get my bit of information out. But I just wish that any victim over there in America or anywhere in the world stand up and tell.
Okay, great.
Because it eats you alive if you don't.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
It definitely is a tragic situation, and we are trying to expose as much of this as we can. Also, too, with Prince Andrew, and we've done a couple of stories about Saville and different kinds of cases of abuse around the world.
Yeah.
Which seems to be like these people in power have an unusual interest in abusing children.
I think people with power abuse their power. And they seem to use it for their sick fantasies if they can't get what they want in real life.
Right. And also, too, I think a lot of it uses blackmail. Once you get in power, they lure you into these parties and they blackmail you in order to compromise people. And that's how they can continue because they have dirt on all the prosecutors and judges as well. So everybody wants to keep it quiet.
But of course, yeah, and the worst part is if a rock star or anybody decides that I need a little girl,
right.
and you make that person special and wonderful. That little girl is going to do anything that you want her to do.
Yeah.
And it is bad.
Well, okay. Well, thank God, he's gone, and hopefully we'll get this other guy in prison as well. And
but I'll let you know with that.
Anything comes up, you give us a call and let us know what's going on, okay?
I will promise, yes.
Thank you. This is Caroline Robinson, a victim of Jimmy Saville. And thank you very much, Caroline.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, well, there you have it. This is a first-hand family member of Jimmy Saville who alleges that Jimmy Saville molested her right in front of the whole family. And she had another uncle who attacked her. And also, too, as well, is about to come under some charges, hopefully, if it's true. If the police can find enough evidence to convict on that. So, once again, this is one of our shows that we did for you in the member section to make available to you for members only. It's only about 40 minutes long, so we'll have to tag something else on the end of it to get it into rotation. We'll have to include this with some other shows before we can get it up on YouTube and into the rotation of stations, which need like a 2-hour show. So I guess that's about it. Thank you very much. With the Opperman Report here, brought to you by Audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/Opperman Report. Get yourself a free audiobook. There you go. Help support the show. If you're out there, you want to sponsor our show, you want to advertise something, especially if you're like a car dealership, I can work out a great deal for you because I need a car. Okay. So give us a call and to buy these great, lock in these cheap ad rates. The show's growing every month. There's no doubt about that. And once all these members show hit YouTube and Spreaker, each one of these is going to be getting like 100,000 hits because we get so many questions about people who want to hear these shows. So, okay, guys, good night, and thank you very much.